Hello YouTube, how's it going? It's the professional here. Today I am going to do a review of the After Hours DLC and give you guys my final thoughts on it, because I know many people have asked me what I think of it, so I will share my opinion. This is my opinion. Now, for people who do not have time to watch the whole video, I will say straight from the beginning. I enjoy this DLC, but there are flaws in it, things that could have been done better. I will explain. First, let's take a look at this poll I posted 2 weeks ago. 32,000 people voted in it, so I think we have a good sample size. 69% say they liked it, while 31% say they don't or are disappointed by it. This is a very good sample because this update has divided the community. Basically, 2 out of 3 people say they like it, while 1 doesn't. Some people like it, others hate it, others somewhat enjoy it. Now, let's get started breaking this update down. So when people first go to purchase their nightclub, they take a look at the base price of it and they say, oh, it's not that expensive. 1,500,000, 1,525,000 here. This one's 1,370,000. So the base price is not that expensive. The most expensive nightclub is 1,700,000, which we are purchasing here. However, though, even though the base price is not that expensive, there is a catch. The catch is that the upgrades are extremely expensive. Even though base price isn't, the upgrades are. Nightclub style, 300,000. Light rig right here, 295,000. We even have to pay $33,000 for a nightclub name. The storage is going to cost 2,143,000. But the storage you want to upgrade. That's where you're going to make the majority of your money from. We're going to be talking about that a little later. And even when you set up the nightclub, you still have more upgrades. You have an equipment upgrade, 1,425,000. That'll give you better equipment and increase the speed at which your product is producing downstairs. You have a staff upgrade, which reduces the popularity loss every day. And you also have a security upgrade, which reduces the risk of getting attacked. If you choose to upgrade with all of these different upgrades, if you choose to get the most expensive one, you're going to be spending over $8 million like me. So it can get pretty expensive. However, though, let's talk about how good the business is. Is the business actually worth buying? It is. Let me show you. Okay, so starting off, the best part of this update, in my opinion, is the new underground business located underneath your nightclub, and this is assuming that you choose to upgrade it all the way, and this is the ultimate passive business. This business will link all your other businesses, so if you own the MC businesses, if you own the hangar, if you own the bunker, you will be able to link this. What you cannot link is you cannot link import-export and CEO crates, but everything else you can pretty much link to this, and you can have 5 technicians which will be producing product for you, and this product will be producing at all times. It does not matter. You don't need to get supplies. You don't need to do resupply missions. You don't need to buy supplies either. This stuff will always be producing. That's what's so awesome about this business. It produces very slowly, but this is the kind of business anybody can use, and it's extremely solo friendly too, because it's always one delivery vehicle. However, you need to upgrade vehicles in order to use this business. These vehicles, you need to buy and upgrade them if you want to make sales from your new nightclub business. And the Speedo custom van, that van's free, but you do need to upgrade it if you want to use it to its full extent. It holds up to 119 crates. The Mule custom holds between 120 to 239 crates, and the Pounder custom, the one that we are in here, holds maximum 240 to 360 crates. And these vehicles, they have a lot of upgrades, which are nice, but in free mode, they get destroyed very easily. However, on sell missions, they're much more armored, and this is what I personally love about this business. I love that you can use custom delivery vehicles. This is how every single business should work in the game. MC businesses really need this because I'm so sick of using the post-op vans. I think a lot of other people are also sick of using it, but this is what the CEO update, even though the Finance and Felony one, even though that one did not have custom delivery vehicles, you could still upgrade them. You could upgrade their armor, and you could upgrade their speed depending on which ones. You could upgrade the speed on the boat, and you could upgrade the armor on the car, the boat, and the planes. This one, you can actually use your own personal delivery vehicle, which is awesome and great. So these vehicles are definitely much of an improvement than using some generic vehicle that they give you on the streets and expect you to drive delivering cargo. Even though these vehicles are custom and they're much better than the regular variants of the Mule, the Pounder, and the Speedo, the bad thing about them is that they're all advertised with a ram on the front, and the trailer is kind of misleading. The trailer for the After Hours DLC shows the Pounder Custom smashing other vehicles out of the way with its ram. However, when you actually try to use the ram, it's not as effective. The Pounder Custom has the best ram out of all of them, but the only reason it has the best ram is because of the size of the vehicle. It's able to absorb hits from smaller vehicles. But the Mule Custom and the Speedo Custom, if you try to smash anything out of the way, you're going to spin out. And another bad thing about these vehicles is that they can get stuck very easily. A lot of these delivery vehicles, they can get stuck in a lot of places. If you want to look into a more detailed on these vehicles, take a look at my reviews. I made separate reviews for the Mule Custom, the Speedo Custom, and the Pounder Custom, but here we're just doing a generic overview of the vehicles. Just be careful with them. A lot of them can get stuck, and this is the worst if you're doing a sell mission. If you're doing a sell mission, you do not want to get this thing stuck, because a lot of times when you get the vehicle stuck, they automatically blow up for some reason in these games, so you got to watch out for that. Don't get this thing stuck, and do not go off-road with these vehicles. Don't go off-road with them unless you have to, because you run over one tiny rock, you could actually get stuck under that rock. I'm not joking. Take a look at this right here. I was delivering full 360 crates, and I get it stuck under some small debris underneath the truck right here, so be very careful where you drive these vehicles. You don't want to get them stuck. Do not go off-road with these, because they can get stuck very easily, and from past experiences, other delivery vehicles that you get stuck, they blow up after being stuck for some time. So I was really scared to see if that would happen here. I didn't want to wait to find out, but my friend was pushing me out here, and I managed to get out. But what would happen if that player was playing by themselves? You know, they don't have a buddy to push them out. They would be in a very bad situation. So even though it's good that we have these custom vehicles that we can make these sale missions with, you gotta be careful with them, because the rams aren't as effective on them, and they can get stuck pretty easily. Though I'd much rather prefer driving one of these things than driving a post-op van. When you do finally sell your product, Tony takes actually a ridiculous cut. It's a nice business, it'll always produce, and you don't need to resupply it with any cargo missions, you don't need to buy product like I said earlier, but Tony takes a ridiculous cut. Tony takes 10% of your total earnings. This is much higher than Ron from the hangar business, who took 2.5%. Tony takes 10%. However, a way to get around Tony's laundering cut is if you sell over $1 million, the max Tony will take is only $100,000, so I personally recommend selling over $1 million, just so you can get more for your money. But it's ridiculous just how big of a cut Tony takes. You should not be taking 10%. 5% would have been more reasonable, but 10%, that is way too much. Here I made this chart some time ago based on a Reddit thread that I found on how long it takes to produce cargo. I'll also link that thread down in the description in case anybody wants to see it. But this is just an idea of how long it takes this business to produce. Cargo will generate $500,000 for you. It's 50 crates. It takes 70 minutes per crate. That's around 58 hours. Sporting goods, which are guns, $500,000. It's 100 crates, 40 minutes per crate. That's 66.6 hours. South American imports, that is cocaine. That's $210,000. 10 crates, 120 minutes per crate, 20 hours. Pharmaceutical meth, 20 crates, 60 minutes per crate, 20 hours. You guys get the idea. It goes on and on here. If you're going to be selling them, go for cargo, sporting goods, South American imports, pharmaceutical research, and cash creation, because you can only have 5 techs. You can only have 5 techs producing for you at once, which is kind of disappointing. You know, if I had the money, I should be able to hire 2 more techs to produce the organic and printing. It is kind of frustrating how I can't hire 2 more. And one thing that's kind of annoying is that if you have an extra tech, like one of your techs is finished, you should obviously assign them to organic or printing. Personally, I would go for organic. It's more profitable, and then printing when you finish one of them. But the bad thing is that you can't assign an extra tech to produce on another one. So let's say that I have one tech, he finished. I should be able to assign him, for example, to South American imports. And instead of being 120 minutes per crate, it should be 60 minutes per crate. If I have extra techs that aren't doing anything, I should be able to assign multiple techs to one cargo type. That way it should be able to produce faster. If that one or 2 techs that are finished, they're not going to do anything. They're literally just going to sit there. So it's kind of annoying how you can't assign the techs that finish their work to start producing other projects. You can to organic and printing, but you wouldn't be able to assign 2 or 3 techs to one type of cargo. You should be able to do that, and it's kind of disappointing that you can't. However, even though the business takes between 50 to 66 hours to produce, there is something new in free mode called business battles, and in this case you guys saw me assassinate a target to reveal weapons. And business battles are a new free mode event which I think a lot of people should definitely participate in because it's very rewarding. A lot of the other free mode events, like the different challenges that they had, they weren't very rewarding, but this one is. Business battles spawn every 15 minutes in a free mode session, so long as there is not a free mode activity, because free mode activities, they'll interfere with them. But if there's no free mode activities, they're spawning every 15 minutes, and you can deliver cargo to your warehouse. In this case, I managed to deliver 2 bags. I delivered 2 to 2 weapons. One weapon crate takes 40 minutes to produce, and we stole 2 here, so we knocked 80 minutes off the clock. That's an hour and 20 minutes that we knocked off the clock. That's $5,000 every weapon, because weapons are worth $5,000 a crate, plus you get paid $10,000 to $20,000 every time a business battle ended if you delivered both cargoes. So definitely do the business battles. It's a good way to fill up your club and a good way to get paid. Now, here's one part that I really don't like. I don't like the popularity system in the nightclub. I can't stand it. The nightclub is an extra business that's above ground, and this will make you up to $70,000 in your safe, and it can make also $10,000 every 48 minutes, so long as your popularity bar is the highest. And if your popularity drops, your income per in-game day every 48 minutes drops. And some of these missions that you have to do, popularity missions to keep them up, can be really frustrating. In this case, I have to hang up 8 posters around the city, 8 posters. And then when I'm finally done, this mission took me almost 10 minutes. It took me almost 10 minutes to complete. I finally hang up all 8 posters. What do I get for a reward? Oh yeah, that's right. This is what I get. I get $4,500. That's all I get for doing that annoying popularity mission. Some of the popularity missions can be really easy, like blowing up 4 trucks. But other ones, like the one where you have to pick them up with the two VIPs of a limo, drive them around town, back to your nightclub, and then another one with the posters, these are the worst ones, and they can be really frustrating. After doing that annoying popularity mission for 10 minutes, how much popularity do I get? That's right. I only get half a bar popularity. That's it. And I have to wait 5 minutes to do another popularity mission. That is so frustrating. I should at least get 1 full bar of popularity. These popularity missions are so annoying. Some of them can take too long. The pay is really bad, and it's just not worth doing them. Don't do these popularity missions. I pretty much gave up on doing them. In terms of DJs, they are drip fed. That's right, they are drip fed. They cost $100,000 every Tuesday a new DJ is released until next week when the last DJ, the Black Madonna, will be released. So you have to pay $100,000 to get these new DJs, and they don't even do much for you. Some of these missions are absolutely terrible. Just take a look at how bad this mission was.
Little problem.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, hey, Dixon, my man. Hold on, wait there a sec. I was watching his stuff, and someone nicked it. I was in the car seat, freshening up the pipes. You know how it is. Spiritual quest sort of thing. Fucking hell, some little bugger robbed me. Oh my God, that's his bag there. You go get it back, I'll distract the talent.
For the Dixon mission, you have to chase a guy down the street who took his bag, kill him, take the bag, bring it back to Dixon, then pick Dixon up and take him back to your club. That's it. That's all that was there for this mission. I was expecting much more from a story mission for the After Hours DLC, a mission where you retrieve a new DJ. You know, the other mission, The Tale of Us 2, that one was more detailed. What was wrong with this mission? This mission had such lazy design to it, and I was so surprised that this came from Rockstar, because Rockstar is usually so detailed in their games and their missions, and just a small, they're very picky on the small details, but this mission, the Dixon mission, was one of the worst missions I ever encountered in a Grand Theft Auto game, and even a Contact mission has more detail than this mission. The mission for Tale of Us was actually pretty good, and it was actually a pretty unique mission, where you had to shoot some hinges off of this big truck that was carrying vehicles, and then you steal the vehicle that they want, and then you bring it to them. That mission was actually fun, and I enjoyed it. Even the Solomon mission, where you followed the plane, was better, but the Dixon mission, that was just so lazy. And why do we have to wait? Why do we have to wait a week for these missions? Why do we have to wait a week for each DJ? I don't understand why DJs are being drip fed. This is one of the bad things about this update is I don't mind if vehicles are drip fed. I'm not against that. If Rockstar wants to drip feed vehicles, that's fine. But missions should never be drip fed. They should never be. Missions like with DJs that are essential parts of the club, which they're advertising as apparently, these should not be drip fed. This should be in the game from day one, because if you take a look at the After Hours DLC trailer, the After Hours DLC trailer actually shows parts of this mission in the trailer, and that's misleading. It's false advertising, because they're showing us a mission in the trailer, and they're saying July 24th, and then when July 24th rolls around, a lot of these missions aren't in the game, and then they tell us, oh, we're going to release them every Tuesday for you guys. Really? That you showed us in the trailer that it was going to come out July 24th, so it's really, the drip feed has gone too far in this update. Like I said earlier, I'm not complaining about the vehicles. If they want to drip feed the vehicles, that's fine and all, but they should never drip feed missions. That should never happen. Now, how did the DJs actually help our popularity? Very little. You can choose to book a DJ for $10,000, and if you choose to book another DJ, you get this cutscene where you see your current DJ leaving, and you see the new DJs taking over. And do you actually get a ton of popularity? You don't. You only get half a bar of popularity again, so you waste $10,000 on a DJ, and you get half a bar of popularity here, doing the same thing again, getting Dixon back, having him switch with Tail, And take a look at this. Half a bar, now we're at a bar. We wasted $20,000 to get one bar. It should not work like this. And I understand some people are going to tell me, it's for the music, but face it, the majority of us, we book the DJs to get money. We don't do it for their music. Here at the end, guys, we got our pros and our cons. So let's start off with pros. This is the best passive business. The underground part of the nightclub is the best passive business because you don't have to do any work whatsoever. None. You don't even have to buy supplies. The only work that you have to do is you just have to sell it. That's all you gotta do. This will always make you money, always be producing. You can assign the techs to choose what to produce, but it will always be producing. You don't have to do any work. That's what's awesome about this business. And it's very solo friendly. You get one delivery vehicle. So this is my personal favorite passive business now. I like it just for that fact. Business battles are great. Business battles are a great addition. It actually gives you a good reason to PvP, a good competition in free mode, actually fun. You can compete for the product, deliver it back to your nightclub, make some easy money, get some cargo together, and fill up your nightclub quicker, make more money. You can customize your delivery vehicles. There's 3 delivery vehicles to choose from, the Speedo, the Pounder, and the Mule Custom, and they're much better than the regular variants. Remember, I said they can get stuck easy. Their Rams aren't the greatest, but they're custom versus having to use a generic vehicle. We got new activities, so we do have some new missions. Some of them can be terrible, but at least we have new activities, new missions to do in free mode. It is the easiest solo business. There is no business that's a better solo business than this place. You need to have all the businesses in order to maximize profit from this place, but once you do, it is the easiest solo business to run. It's even easier than import-export, because import-export, you have to go and steal a car. Here, you don't have to do anything. Here, all you gotta do is basically sit back, let your stuff produce, and then sell it whenever you want. It does take pretty long, but you can fill it up with business battles quicker. Remember that? Also, another pro is the Terabyte. The Terabyte is coming out next Tuesday. The Terabyte is a big truck. You can customize certain vehicles in, and you can also launch brand new missions from it, and you are going to be able to run most of your businesses from it. So that's definitely going to be a plus. And we have new clothes, but a lot of the new clothes that are in the game, they're just basically reskins of the older clothes, like the different sweaters. They're just different colors. Nothing really new and unique. Very few unique options. And for the cons, the nightclub pays terrible. It's absolutely awful. It's awful. $70,000 max in your safe. That safe looks like it could hold over $500,000 in it. And $10,000 every 48 minutes after spending that much money on the club. I wouldn't consider this a con if we didn't have to do the popularity missions. If we didn't have to do the popularity missions and we would just get $70,000, $10,000 every 48 minutes, that would be fine. I wouldn't have a problem with it. But just the fact that we have to keep our popularity up and do these annoying missions, and some of them can take really long, and we only get half a bar of popularity, you could be doing other activities in the meantime and just getting money in different ways. Don't waste your time on these popularity missions. I just gave up. Just take advantage of the underground business. That's the best way to make money in my opinion. And like I said earlier, the clothing, even though there's new clothes, there's very few unique new clothes. They're just reskins of the older clothes. And another con is drip-fed missions. The missions are drip-fed. That is terrible. Missions have never been drip-fed before. It was always vehicles, but now it's getting to a new point, and this is very dangerous. It's like in the future, what are we gonna have? Like half updates, and then we're gonna have like 10% of the update every Tuesday. I'm really nervous for the future of GTA Online with just the way they're drip feeding this update. The DJs, that should not be drip fed. The Terabyte, that should have been in the game also because it includes a lot of missions. So all the missions, that should have been in the game on day one. And another con is you can't assign more techs. Why can't I assign more techs to produce different cargo? If I have an extra tech, I should be able to assign 2 techs to 1 cargo type. And nightclub inside, it's boring. There's not many activities. I didn't really talk about this earlier, but there's not really many activities to do in a nightclub. You can go around, you can drink, but even drinking, like buying expensive champagne, it's $150,000. And then you can dance, which is also nice, but just drinking and dancing, the nightclubs are pretty boring. There's nothing really to do inside. Like, they could have put in more activities, like maybe add a pool table in your office, maybe like add a shooting range underground, like add more activities, do something. Maybe even add like a darts board to your office. That would at least give a different activity, something more to do in this nightclub, because right now it's just so boring. I just get so bored spending time inside. There's nothing really to do. And weaponized vehicles, this is my personal opinion, but I don't think a nightclub update should have any weaponized vehicles. I don't think it's necessary. Why are we having weaponized vehicles in a nightclub update? That doesn't really make sense. I thought that they would stay away from weaponized vehicles, but it seems they're going to be pushing weaponized vehicles in every update, even if it's a nightclub update. And the last few cons here are Tony's cut. Tony's cut is way too much. 10% over $100,000 if you get over $1 million, no, that's too much. He should not be taking 10%. He should be taking 5%. That's the max that I would give him. He should not be taking 10%. It's just way too much. And our final con is the raids. Raids, I don't know why Rockstar keeps putting these in the game. These should not be a thing anymore. If you pay for security, and I've said this so many times, if you pay for security, you should not get raided. You should never get raided if you pay for security. That's the way it should be, but it's so frustrating. And this one can be so unforgiving. If it takes around 3 days to fill up your nightclub fully. So let's say somebody's waiting around 3 days. They're playing the game for around 3 days. They're hopping on the game, getting off, playing it for 3 days, and then after 3 days, they go AFK for like a minute, and their nightclub gets attacked. They die, and they lose all their stuff inside. You can avoid this by disbanding your CEO and MC, but it's still frustrating. It's extremely frustrating. You could lose all that stuff in there by being raided. Raids should not be a thing if you buy security. I don't know why they keep adding in raids. It's stupid. I hope we never see raids in a future update if they ever add another business to this game. So that's pretty much my review of this update, guys. Overall, I would give this update a 7.5 out of 10. That would be my score for it. I enjoyed this update. I enjoyed this update much more than the Doomsday Heist. I'm not saying the Doomsday Heist was terrible, but the Doomsday Heist didn't really give us anything to do in free mode. This gave us new business in free mode, new activities, new ways to make money in free mode, and I'm always grateful for that. I'm always grateful for new opportunities to make money. Unfortunately, they did some really bad things, like with the popularity missions. The actual nightclub pay didn't really have that many clothes. The text could have been done better. The nightclub interior could have been done better. And I personally think there's too many weaponized vehicles, but that's my opinion. I do like the new underground business. It's the best passive business, very easy to use, very solo friendly. So I do overall enjoy this update. It just could have been done a little better. So I hope that you guys enjoy. Let me know in the comments what you think of this video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like. If you're new to my channel and you enjoyed my content, then subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.